the beta oxidation or oxidation of fatty acids. And we said that fatty acids upon beta oxidation will yield what? Will yield acetyl chloride. Now, we discussed also that beta oxidation, it takes place where? In which part of the cell? In the mitochondria. So definitely you will find acetyl-CoA available where? In the mitochondria. Now, we want to see what are the different options we have in order for this acetyl-CoA to be metabolized. And what are the conditions under which these options will be valid. So let's examine. The immediate one is what? Entrance to where? TCA cycle for production of what? Production of ATP. But this option will be determined by the availability of what? Oxaloacetate. Because without oxaloacetate, acetyl-CoA will not enter to the TCA cycle. So this is the first option. Suppose this option is not valid. What the other alternatives we have? Do we have alternatives? And what are these alternatives are? We will say that in case of this is not valid, we have another option to form what we call ketone bodies. To form what? Ketone bodies. And we will know what are ketone bodies in just a minute. Okay? So this will be considered as what? Second option. Both of these options will take place where?
Mitochondria.
So then definitely these two options are what? Are energetic. These two options are what? Then احنا قلنا أي شيء بيحصل inside the mitochondria will yield what? ATP or energy. So then definitely if TCA cycle takes place, that will lead only. If ketone body is produced, again this ketone body will be used for what? For production of energy. Okay, suppose now we are not in need for this energy. We have enough amount of energy. What's next?
Storage.
Just imagine. Now if you are taking calories in your diet and what you are taking exceed what you are spending. So end up with what? End up with storage. End up with what? Storage. That storage means what? You have to transfer this acetyl-CoA into what? Into a productive subunit, into a productive what unit? What this production unit will give? Fatty acid. But fatty acid what? Synthesis. So acetyl-CoA then can also be involved in formation of fatty acids. Also, we have another synthetic pathway in which acetyl-CoA also will be involved or act as a substrate for, which is formation of cholesterol. If we look to these synthetic pathways, احنا تكلمنا الآن على energetic pathway. قلنا فين بتحصل؟ Synthetic pathway where we synthesize fatty acid or we synthesize cholesterol. This will definitely take place where? So you can see what? You can see what here? That acetyl-CoA,
Works in two places.
which produced by mainly fatty acid oxidation اللي طبعا هي بيتا oxidation وممكن الاستايل-CoA يجي من فين؟ من amino acid or from pyruvate from what? Is the sources of acetyl-CoA now. Acetyl-CoA inside our body, inside the cell, can come from different sources. Based on what? Based on your dietary status. If you are under well-fed state or you are under starved state. At the end of the day, what we have here, we have acetyl-CoA available to us. Now this acetyl-CoA which is available to us, it can go what? It can go to this, or this, or this, or this options. Based on what? Based again on our energetic or dietary status. Based on our energetic or dietary status. For example, now if you are under well-fed state, do you know what I mean by well-fed state? That means you are taking your normal diet. You are taking diet. When I say starvation status, that means you are deprived of food. You are not taking food. Might be fasting, might be starvation. And fasting for a certain number of hours, but starvation might prolong to a prolonged starvation. Okay? Anyway, now if at a style CoA that under well-fed state, what do you expect? Under well-fed state, it's indication. You have what? In your diet you have glucose. You have a normal secretion of insulin. Then you have the normal metabolism of glucose اللي هو حيدينا ايش immediate source of energy. وبالتالي حيكون عندي enough what? Enough oxaloacetate و enough what? وبالتالي ال preferable pathway is what? To go to Krebs cycle. ولكن انتم عارفين ال Krebs cycle will not go forever. The Krebs cycle will not go forever. It will go till what? Till we have enough amount of ATP. انتوا عارفين ال ATP بيعمل ايش؟ It's a negative what? Negative effector of what? Of the TCA cycle. وبالتالي بيعمل ايش؟ inhibition لمين؟ inhibition لل TCA. إذا هنا ال TCA cycle once we have a high level of ATP إذا حيعمل ايش هنا؟ إذا احنا ما زلنا فين؟ في الويل فيد ستيت ولا لا؟ طيب في الويل فيد ستيت قلنا احنا once we have enough amount of energy. ايش اللي حيحصل؟ هيحصل inhibition لمين؟ التسع ساكن. هيحصل accumulation لمين؟ acetyl. طيب فين حيروح الاستاذ؟
تقدر تاخذ طريق ثاني.
لا ما نحتاج. انت تحتاج كيتون بادي؟ لا. كيتون بادي تحتاجه as an alternative source of energy. لما ما يكون عندك صح انه جزء منه حيجي حتى في الويل فيد ستيت. جزء منه حيروح لوين؟ كيتون بادي. Part of that will go for ketone body ولكن very small amount. طب the rest of acetyl-CoA now which is not utilized so far. Where does it go? It has to leave the mitochondria going to where? للسيتوسول. وبعد كده حيحصل ايش هنا؟
فاتن كوليسترول.
هيحصل فاتي اسيد. إذا متى بيحصل الموفمنت اوف acetyl-CoA من الميتوكوندريا للسيتوسول؟ under what condition؟ when we have what؟
energy.
Am I clear؟ في أي سؤال في هذا يا شباب؟
اللي حيساوي
خلينا نروح للأدر سايد. طبعا احنا قلنا حتى في الويل فيد ستيت ايش بيحصل هنا؟ part of this acetyl-CoA will enter where؟ طب الآن take the reverse state of this or state of this. What is it? Under fasting or starvation. What happens? Do you have enough amount of energy? No. Okay. Now that means what? This acetyl-CoA. طالما انه ما عندي enough amount of energy اول شيء احنا نعمل ايه؟ rule out لمين؟ انه الاسيتايل-CoA حي leave الميتوكوندريا going to where؟ إذا under starvation هل عندي fat acid synthesis؟ هل عندي cholesterol synthesis؟ إذا هذول under starvation are blocked. فهمتوا الفرق بين الاثنين الآن؟ We have what? When we have what here? A well-fed state or starvation. And that will reflect what? Reflects the amount of energy produced. If we have enough amount of energy or high amount of energy, your body will think now what? Storing the extra amount of energy by synthesizing what?
fatty acid and cholesterol.
والفات اسيد هذه بعد كده حيدينا مين تراي؟ اللي هو هيحصل له ستورج في الاديبوز. وهذا part of the process of what we call obesity process. So the overweight or obesity process starting by what? By depositing the extra amount of energy in what form? In the form of in the adipose tissue. طيب يجينا الحالة الثانية اللي احنا بنقول فيها ايش؟ اللي هي starvation. في الستارفيشن الآن قلنا احنا إنه this option acetyl-CoA leave the mitochondria going to the cytosol is blocked. أنا لازم أنوه هنا إنه all what we're talking about now is where this is very important. ليش الليفر؟ ليش الليفر؟ Anybody knows? It is the central organ for what? For controlling the whole metabolism of carbohydrate and fat. Controlling the whole body metabolism of وحتشوفوا ان شاء الله من شرح الكوليسترول اعتقد في الكاردياك موديول حتشوفوا how cholesterol is metabolized through what? Through the liver. واليوم حنشوف برضو how the fatty acids or fatty acid oxidation or ketone body also will be controlled by what? وانتم بيدكم شرح لكم قبل كده carbohydrate how glucose, glucogenesis, glycolysis, all this going to be controlled by what? Again by the liver. So liver then will be considered as what? As the central organ for what? Metabolic control of mostly what? Of most of the macromolecules. طيب الآن نعود عودتنا نفترض الآن احنا عندنا starvation. What's going to happen? احنا قلنا هذا الاوبشن في starvation is blocked. إذا كم اوبشن بقى عندي؟ مختصرة. بقى عندي ايش؟ التي سي اي؟ طيب التي سي اي دحين نقول قلنا in order for a acetyl-CoA to go to TCA cycle requires what? oxaloacetate. هل الاوكزالواسيتيت حيكون available؟ Yes. It is available. ولكن 99% of that oxaloacetate will be directed towards what? Gluconeogenesis. لأن احنا بنقول under starvation. إذا البودي needs what here? اللي هو alternative pathway of synthesizing what? جلوكوز. انتوا فاكرين انا ما اعرف طبعا مش شرح لكم لكن احنا بنتكلم على الجلوكوز. الجلوكوز بيجي من فين؟ لأن الجلوكوز هو immediate source of energy. Comes from where? Under starvation. Under starvation. The first immediate source of glucose is what? Glycogen. ولكن الجلايكوجين معروف it's very limited لأنه هو مين؟ المسل glycogen has nothing to do with the level of circulating glucose. The only liver glycogen which is responsible for responding to what? To the circulating glucose. So the immediate source is breakdown of liver glycogen. وهذا طبعا حيكون ايش؟ Very limited. يعني بعد certain number of hours it's out. So the body has to search for an alternative pathway.
From the glyconeogenesis.
هو mainly مين الجلوكو؟
Glyconeogenesis.
يكون من المصل؟
لا.
جلوكونيوجينيسيس يحصل في المصل؟ فين بيحصل؟
من other sources يعني.
Liver which is the major site for gluco and to a lesser extent where in the renal tissue. Okay? That's the only place where gluconeogenesis takes place. واحنا بنتكلم هنا قلنا ايش؟ acetyl-CoA to TCA cycle or to ketone body where?
In the liver.
In the liver. Now in the liver under starvation we have oxaloacetate. لكن هذا الاوكزالواسيتيت will be directed towards what? إذا هل حتجد أنت أي oxaloacetate available to accompany acetyl-CoA to TCA cycle? إذا هذا الأوبشن again is what? Is out. إذا إحنا by exclusion now we've been left with what? We've been left with one option which is what? واضحة الآن كيف وصلنا؟ لا ما حنعمل بلوك لا في اختلاف الكونديشن. You have to understand the difference in the condition. What is the difference in condition here? انا اديك مثال. احنا الان خلينا اختصر لك اياه. قلنا in starvation خلاص most likely الاسيتايل كوي will end up with formation of what؟ كم اوبشن هنا عندنا من الاربعه دي؟ شغال؟ واحد. طب under will fit state كم اوبشن شغال؟ الاربعه كلها شغال. هذا بس المختصر عشان تفهموا الفرق. انتوا under will fit state كيف الاربعه شغاله؟ under will fit state الستايل كوي will be produced يا اما من هنا من هنا من هنا ما تفرق، ولكن mostly from here and here. لأن الأمينو أسيد بريك داون ما راح يحصل إلا في حالات الستارفيشن most likely. عشان كده بيحصل muscle weakness later on. الأسيتايل كوي in the mitochondria now under will fit state في اوكزالو ستيت ولا لا؟ هل تحتاج الاوكزالو ستيت للجلوكونيجينيسيس؟ ما تحتاج جلوكونيجينيسيس عادي. So اوكزالو ستيت is what? Is available. وبالتالي الاسيتايل كوي will go to what? لكن ال TCA cycle all of us know that it will not go forever. It will not go forever. It will go till what? لأنه إيش الغرض من ال TCA cycle? What's the purpose? Production of ATP. If I have enough amount of ATP, do I need more TCA cycle? No. So logically TCA cycle will stop. وبالتالي حيحصل مين؟ Accumulation لمين؟ واحنا قلنا small part of that still go what؟ اللي هو النورمال ريت، وهذا عادة حيكون 3 ملغ بير ديسيليتر في البلد عشان بس تعرفوا النورمال ليفل اوف كيتون. نقول انه الستايل كود الحين الموجود في الميتوكوندريا at a high level. الاوبشن ده وقف لانه خلاص enough ATP. الاوبشن ده is very limited. اذا عنده ايش اوبشنز؟ has to leave what? هذا very easy. Once we have high energy, this will leave the mitochondria going to the
side.
So this option are on, this option is on. So both of these options are. إذا في الويل فيكس ستيت عندنا كل الاوبشن شغاله ولا لا؟ طب نيجي للستارفيشن سريعا. starvation معناته انا ما عندي. ليه ما عندي oxalo state? Why do I have deficit of oxalo state؟ مو معناته ما عندنا يعني تابسل. No, we have a deficit in oxalo. Why we have a deficit in oxaloacetate? Because most of that oxaloacetate will be diverted toward what? Formation of glucose by gluconeogenesis. Okay? إذن الأوبشن ده حيكون off ولا on؟ off. طيب نيجي طبعا هذا off. نيجي نقول الستار كوي will be accumulated. لكن accumulated under a high energetic condition or a low energetic condition. وبالتالي it will not leave the mitochondria to where? إذن these two options are again off. إذن كم option بقى عندي؟
حيزيد الريت يعني حق
production of ketone body. وحنشوف ايش اسباب بعد كده شيء اسمه كيتوسيس وكيتوجينيسيس وصور.
دكتور شوي طرحت الموضوع اللي هو حق الاوبيستي، ان احنا بنكون في الورد فيد ستيت. اوكي لما يتحول للستايل كوي يروح لفاتي اسيد سينثيز وكوليسترول. هل هي نسبة معينة مثلا من الكالوريز يقول لك بعد كده هو هذا اللي حيدخله على الموضوع ده كله ولا كيف؟
كلها تعتمد على amount of energy available. If the amount of energy available is high, then this definitely will not stay in the mitochondria anymore. It has to leave. It has to leave.
Okay.
وحنشوف كيف later on. So now we are end up with what? End up with ketone. خلينا نشوف ايش هم الكيتون body. What are the ketone body we are talking about? مين هم الكيتون body? We have one ketone body called acetic acid. The second one called beta hydroxy butyric acid. The third one is called acetone. إذا من هم الكيتون bodies we have?
ثلاث انواع ولا ثلاثة اجسام؟
Three ketone bodies. احنا بنتكلم عن ketone. They are
Three types.
products. They are compounds which are what? Three. What are they? Acetoacetic, beta hydroxybutyric, and acetone. How these ketone body are formed and where?
in the liver.
طبعا where or location wise معروفة الآن.
In the liver.
Where?
liver.
In the liver what؟
Mitochondria.
ما احنا قلنا الكيتون بادي بيحصل فين؟ In the mito of what?
Liver.
Then you have to be very specific here. If you mention only in the liver, this is not a correct answer. If you mention in the mitochondria, this is not a correct answer. It has to be in what? Liver. لأن الميتوكوندريا موجودة في different
Less.
cells. Okay? والميتوكوندريا حتى لو موجودة في different cells, they are not responsible for synthesis of ketone body unless it is what? Hepatocytes. Unless it is what? طيب these ketone bodies now, how we can synthesize ketone body? مين السبستريت قلنا حق الكيتون بودي؟ اسيتايل؟ طيب كيف بيحصل سريعا؟ الاسيتايل كوي
دكتور طفي النور معلش عشان يبان هذا.